Hello, my cherished doll friends. This is Cheryl. Welcome back to my doll collecting channel, and welcome if you are new. This is my restoration video of my little antique Floridora doll, and it was a labor of love. We had a few issues. It was definitely a challenging project, but I hope that you'll agree that she turned out pretty good in the end. I learned a lot along the way, and that was a part of my desire to do this project and to save this sweet little doll. So I hope you enjoy watching. Feel free to skip through to the parts that interest you if it's going a little too long, but I didn't want to cut out too much. I wanted you to see, you know, as much as I could include of what my process was. She's rescued and she's been salvaged and she can stand on her own, and so I'm happy with the results, and I hope that you'll enjoy watching this video. So I'm all set up to do a big doll repair today. Wish me luck. I've got my little antique Floridora doll here that I got at the flea market, and she needs some big repairs. So I'm going to show you up close, and we're going to see what we can do to fix this girl up. I've got some kid leather gloves here that I found on Facebook Marketplace. They're not that easy to find. I was looking all over in antique stores and thrift stores. So it's the perfect material to use for doll repair. It has the same aged kind of look to it and the same color tone as her skin. I've never done this kind of a repair before. I'm super excited to learn and teach myself. I've watched a few videos of Linda on Rachel Hoffman's channel. Maggie to the Rescue is another channel that she restores antique dolls, and so I've learned a few tips and tricks from them, and I'm gonna just kind of feel my way around it and see what I can do. We'll get the doll situated here. This is her little hat that she came with. So cute. Here's her sawdust. The dress is already off of her, so we're just gonna set that to the side. Are you ready for your big day, Missy? Here we go. There she is. Aww. Wow, this is really interesting to hold her and feel what she's like. It looks like someone has tried to repair her before. This piece here kind of looks new, and there's a button holding her arms together. And there's a bit of tension, so these two are joined. If I pull this one becomes tighter. I don't think I feel comfortable taking her whole head off. This is my first restoration, and I'm gonna try and do the minimal at first until I learn more. Here's where you can see the markings on her, on the back of her head. 370 AH3 DEP, which is patent, and then it says Armand Marseille full length, and then made in Germany is slightly hidden under the leather, but you can still read it. As I move her around, the sawdust is coming out, and then also she has, I showed in my other video when I found her, some writing on her back from her original owner. I think now this says December 25th. I feel like this was a Christmas present. I can't make out the year, and it looks like the girl who owned her was named Sarah. That's really all I can make out from this writing. Maybe Sarah Mako or Mac. Today I'm going to focus on the main repairs, fixing her holes and making her sawdust stay in. I want to take her socks off and inspect what's going on underneath here, which scares me a little. Yeah, we're gonna have lots of sawdust. Oh dear. This sock is full of sawdust. Oh, interesting. Her little feet are not leather. Okay, so the leather must end at the knee then. And this is the joint that's gonna need fixing. I'm gonna have to put some new leather here. Okay, Okay, let's take this little sock off. Clearly somebody put these socks on to hold her together. Oh, this is gonna be tough. Another sock filled with sawdust. I don't think this repair is gonna be as pretty as I might have hoped, given the condition. The repair is just going to be so difficult. I'm almost thinking of just taking a big piece of leather and wrapping it around each leg and not worrying about fixing the actual gusset where the limbs bend and stuff, just making her limbs straight, because they'll still be able to bend up at the hip. So she'll still be able to sit, but her knees are shot. She needs a knee replacement. So here I'm just holding the camera so you can see the situation. But this is leather right here. And I think it was attached to the cloth. And then this is the little gusset that makes the knees bend right there. That gusset is intact. I think that's what it's called. So this leg I might be able to attach there again. This leg though has already been repaired around here, and this gusset part is all torn apart, and I don't think I can repair this without actually taking it right off and making new pieces. I just don't think I'm at the skill level to do that. Oh, I don't know, you guys. Should I try? I don't know what's going on here. This looks like glue, and this is definitely tape. I don't know if I would even try and take that off. It looks like it's also hiding a big repair. I might just put a new piece of kid leather all around it just to make it nicer. And of course I want to preserve her little label here. And I'll just put a little patch on her side there. And I should be able to make a new arm. I just need a circular piece. And then I can just stick a new piece right in here, or I might just go over top of this existing piece actually to preserve what's there. And just tuck that all in and put some stuffing in and fix our arm. Okay, so let me get started and see how brave I'm gonna be and fiddle around a bit with her. And I'll be back. I think I'm gonna have to put some stuffing back in here before I go too far, because once I start gluing things on, it's not gonna be that easy to get it stuffed again. So I'm gonna go that route first. There is a big gap here where she should have lots of stuffing, so we may as well fill her up. So maybe it is a good idea to put this piece of cotton back in just to hold it there while I'm working. Those are just the right size, those little makeup pads. I've just stuffed the cotton pads in there on top of the stuffing to keep her from leaking. So now I can play around with the leg a little bit more without her leaking all over the place. I'm wondering if I should just put a strip of leather right around there, just like this one. It'd be nice if she could still bend her knee, but it really needs some strength right here. So I'm gonna cut a piece of this glove. I think I'm just gonna cut off a nice wide piece. I guess I should cut it at the seam, because I'm gonna need to wrap it around. Ooh, that's a really nice looking cover. Looks a lot nicer than the mess that's underneath. And I've got my tacky glue here. So I'm gonna be able to, once I wrap this around, I'm gonna be able to glue that on. And unfortunately, she's not gonna have any knee movement, but I think this is the best solution at this stage of the game for her. Or I could make another piece. If I just glue it part way to there, and then I can make a new round bit to go there. That might work. Actually, I'm gonna bring this down to where this white bit is, and then I can totally cover it. That makes way more sense. Like that. Oh yeah, that looks way better. Okay, so we've got our tacky glue. This is the first time I'm using this. And I hear it's a good kind of glue for doll repair. So we're gonna place this. Looks like I've got it right in the corner of the gusset there, so it's just covering that. And it's coming past this white bit, so that's gonna be nicely covered. When I've seen Linda do this on Rachel's channel, it seems like she just seems to feel her way through it. There's no real rules. It's just whatever seems appropriate and what's going to work best. So that's the way I'm going to approach it, and we'll see how it turns out. I'll try and make it look as neat as I can. And I am going to cut a little circle and put it in here and try and make it so she can move her knee, even though her stuffing isn't fully stuffed. It's holding pretty well so far, and I'm just now wrapping it around the back, and I'm gonna cut it where I want it to finish on this side. Let's get this wrapped. She's falling apart. So actually, I think we do want this to come all the way here, and then I can cut this piece out. I do want this piece here, but I don't want it here. That was a bad cut. Hopefully that'll all get hidden inside. Maybe like that, because I'm going to cover that with another piece. I should have measured all this before I started. It needs a bit of tension to keep it together. This might work. It may not be the neatest job in the world, but at least she'll be together. And then I'll make a little replacement circle to put in there so she can move her knee. See, the stitching is actually coming undone right from about this point to here. You probably can't see that. It's very tiny stitches. So I either need some glue there or another piece, another patch, which I could do. I could just glue a patch there. Oh, she's very athletic, isn't she? Yeah, I think if I just stick a piece here, that might be good. Let's make a nice little patch. Because this is supposed to be able to bend backwards. I don't think she's going to have a range of motion that she's used to. Let's just say that. But I do think I need to snip in here. Yeah, because then that goes in there like that. And then she can bend a little bit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let it sit for a bit. I want everything to dry nicely. So this is the leg we've been working on, and we've got leather wrapped around the whole leg. I did an extra patch here to cover up some stitching that was coming loose and some sawdust was escaping. And we wrapped all the way around to where this gusset is, and I'm gonna try and glue another piece in to fill in that gap and close everything up. Okay, I think that's gonna fit. Okay, I guess we'll just let that, I feel like I want to prop that up a bit though right now. I'm going to put this little thing of tape underneath. There we go, and let that dry. Okay, wow, this is like doing surgery. I hope this turns out. If nothing else, it should be better than how it was before. I think I'll try and start working on this other one while we're waiting for leg 1 to dry. And again, I'm gonna have to restuff this little leg. Her knee on this side is fine. This is lower on the leg where this one's broken. So I'll need another leather bandage. I have my nice leather glove here, and I think I want to make it quite wide so she's got lots of strength. So I'm just going to go really low on the glove and cut a nice piece off. Okay, so I've got a nice piece there. So I need to get this little leg put together. So I'm going to put this cotton pad down here to try and keep the sawdust in while we assemble her. So if I close that together, I'm just going to go around this leg. And I kind of want the seam to be in the back, which makes it awkward because I won't be able to see what I'm doing. Is this going to fit around? Yes. To be careful here because the gusset for the knee joint can't be covered or it's not going to be functional. This is all trial and error. All right, we're coming along slowly but surely. This leg is just drying, and this leg, we've got it halfway around, and the gusset is still intact. So she'll still be able to move her knee a little bit too, not a lot. The glue is drying, and I think I feel safe to flip her over now so that I can finish the back side of her leg. I just have to be careful with her arm because it's leaking as well, but most of the leaking was coming out of the legs, I think. So there's the one leg there with the patch, and I'll show you a better camera angle once I finish this bit here, which I'm gonna have to just glue around like that. So with leather, you kind of have to stretch it a little bit. So I'm going to stretch this side first and glue it down, and then I'll bring this side over and finish it off right to the edges. And I'm going to try and stretch it. So I didn't match it very well at the bottom there, but it's kind of hard to. The piece of leather is a little uneven to begin with, so that's how it's gonna be. There. Now she no longer has leaky legs. Oh, I bet she feels much better already. Okay, so can I pick her up now? Oh, she has little legs now. Let's turn her around, show you. I see even in here, there's a gap that I'm gonna have to fill because the sawdust is gonna come through the cracks here in the tops of the legs. Okay, so I just found another issue that we're gonna have to deal with before we get to the arm. All right, so I will cut some pieces for there and glue those in. Can you balance on your head? We're just figuring it out as we go. This is kind of how I do everything in my life. All right, I've got some tweezers and we've got the glue. So I'll show you up close what we did there. Can you see the little strips of leather I put just on the bottom of each gusset there? That covers the gaps that were there and will keep her from leaking in that spot. Yeah, that worked out well. I'm happy with that. So I'm waiting for the legs and the hips to dry, and in the meantime I'm deciding what I'm gonna do with her little arm here. So I've taken a piece of the glove. What I did was I put the glove around this arm to see how much width I would need and length to make a new arm for my doll. And then I just cut it out from this glove here. And so now I'm sewing together one side seam to make an arm. And it's not going well. I'm not the greatest sewer in the world. So I'm using red thread because that's what was used on the other one. So I thought I'll just keep it the same. Okay, we're getting there. I've been sewing away here and it's not that neat, but it's sewn together with our red thread. And I'm just gonna tie it off, her little arm. And I'm just gonna have to figure out next what to do with, how to attach all of this. Stuff this with sawdust and reattach it. Now let's just see how her legs are doing and her hips. Everything seems dry now. Do we still need this pillow? Oh, there she is. She can sit now. And she even has little knees. Aww. They don't bend very far, but at least you can still see what the intention was. I think that's pretty cool. I just noticed another problem. This has come off. So I need to glue that. Yeah, I need to glue that. Sit her up against the pillow so I can work on her. There we go. Perfect. Are you quite comfortable, Miss Flora? How are we going to make your arm better? Now first, should we fix your shoulder strap? I think that would be good. And she also has this other problem on this side. Maybe I should patch that right now. See this hole right here? That just needs to be stuck down with a patch, but it needs to be filled up first because it's a bit empty. And I might do the same thing I did with the legs, is fill it with a little piece of cotton to hold the stuffing in. Gather it together. Like that. Aww. Poor little thing. You're gonna be better soon, little girl. Give it a bit of tension and pull think I need to detach this. Sorry, girl. And her hand goes this way. There we go. Just wanted to show you my workspace from another angle. We've got our little arm. We're waiting for the glue to dry on that. And we've got all our sawdust and this poor arm here. And there's my sewing. But you can see that there was stitching originally underneath there. So I lined it up to where the stitching was. That's better. So now I'll be able to glue that inside to there. Now we need to stuff the arm and glue this on, and I think this is going to be probably the most challenging thing yet. I just finished gluing this. So I glued the two pieces together with that tubing inside, but it still wasn't really feeling firm. So I did another band-aid all around the outside edge, and it covers up some of the stitching, but I think it looks much better and much stronger. So I'm happy with that result. It's a bit of a patchwork quilt kind of arm, but at least she has an arm. So she's got 2 arms and 2 legs, and she's still looking rough, but getting better. I tried to clean her face a little bit, but I think I need something to scrub her. Some of that dirt came off, but not all of it. So we're getting there. She's all glued back together now at least, and there's no stuffing coming out. So I'm gonna clean up my mess and get her seated and see how she looks. So here's my little Flora post-surgery, still recovering and looking a little rough. She still needs a spa day. She's pretty much glued back together, but she still has a few issues. I noticed she's still leaking sawdust over here, and I believe that's coming from this location. Yeah, there's a hole there, a gap. So I'm not quite sure how to remedy that without taking her fully apart. So I'm thinking of possibly just putting on a pair of tights to hold any leakage, and then just dressing her and standing her up and displaying her. I don't think I can fix that without taking her completely apart, and I think that would do more damage than good, especially with me doing it. You can see her repaired arm here is still slightly longer. Not bad, but a tiny bit longer. And this was the old repair that was done by the previous person, and my repair is all up here, and this is a whole new arm that I made. And then I was going to put something around here, but I haven't done that yet. I'm not sure if I will. She's such a sweetie. It's just so heartbreaking to see them in this condition. And I fixed her legs here. They don't bend that much, but at least they're more original looking than if I had just put the tape right over. At least it has that same look. And yeah, so it's a patch-up job. It's a rescue. It's a total rescue of this little doll. And I think she's worth it. I think she's got a beautiful face. And when her hair is combed and she's got her dress back on, I think she's going to be wonderful in my collection. So thank you everyone for watching, if you did watch this long. And I will show some more scenes of her once I've got her all dressed up. Oh, I love her so much. And it was really fun learning how to restore her. She's certainly far from perfect, but for over 100-year-old doll, I think she's looking darn cute. Okay, let's get her dressed up. So here's my Flora. She's actually standing on a stand in her little dress. I just put some tights on her for now, just because there was a little bit of leaking at the joints where she's strung, and it's not something I can easily fix. So that will keep her stable for now, and she can stand there and look pretty. And yeah, she was an interesting project, definitely a good one to learn on. And I think she's a beautiful little doll. This dress almost seems too big on her actually. And so, but it's still a very pretty dress, and I'm glad she has it. And I'm glad to have her in my collection. She was a project. Thanks for watching, everyone. I appreciate you so very much. I hope to see you again soon.